Hello, Dave.
There we go. Yeah, it's working. Okay. Two of my favorite people. One person that's been on the show before,
Yeah.
one person hasn't. I'm looking at the bright colored hair. You've been on before. Every
Uh-huh.
time we have a 420 show, something weird happens. We're going to talk about that later, but we don't have time right now. The hype, and I mean high, priestess of rap, Empress Kush.
That's right, bitch.
That's right. And comedy legend. Do you like it when people call you comedy legend?
Hey,
Who would
Love
like
attraction.
that?
I am a legend.
This is Freez Luv.
Oh, man.
It's just a legend is you can believe it or not, and I got a career like that.
You know,
Believe it or not.
there's only one comic I know of that's been on both Def Comedy Jam and Mr. Show.
Yeah, it was on Mr. Show and Def Jam. Yeah.
Not only that, House Party 3.
Yeah.
I got the hookup, Master P's comedy tour.
Yes, sir.
You Dangerous Minds with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yes.
You were in Coyote Ugly.
Yes.
You were in, he's got credits.
Yeah.
Yes. You were
I
also.
mean, mind you, it wasn't like I was like a starring in these things, though. You know, I was a character actor.
I don't know, well, it's funny
Well,
that House Party 3
That was my first thing too. It was the
and Mr.
first.
Show, you were behind bars.
Yeah, Mr. Show was a great role.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a dope show. I missed that show.
Yeah, but you were Malcolm and Eddie. You were in
Yes,
the
sir.
Hughleys.
Yes, sir.
And so we're gonna start off talking talking to Freez Luv, because Freez Luv, we started off late, so I apologize. And he's got as big and tough and you've been around, but this stuff you got to do at 9:30.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
has
I
to do
got
with
a
your
wife,
so I
yeah.
don't
I was
wanna
gonna
do-
say he's got a date,
Boss.
sir. A
He
date.
does have a date, some romance involved. Well, I didn't know that you used to be a rapper.
Yeah, I started as an MC, man. I'm still an MC.
Yeah.
I'm an MC, master of ceremonies. Comedy is included in that.
I agree.
To all you guys that rap and gals that rap, you better do some comedy if you're gonna be a master of the ceremony.
Well, Empress Kush has done some comedy. We were talking outside.
All right, you see what I'm saying? She's an MC then.
Yes.
Well, I saw you at the Improv last week, and I say we run into each other every couple of years. You grew up like Pasadena, Altadena.
Altadena, Pasadena, LA County,
Right.
Southern California, man.
But you would, and I know you were talking with our friend Big Mike,
Yeah.
and you were talking about Altadena was no joke back in those days.
Well, LA,
Yeah.
period. I don't care if you're from Monterey Park. Every city had its problems. I mean,
Right.
it's Southern California was buck wild. It was different. The whole era was different. I mean,
Right.
crack was on the scene. Wherever there was crack, there was crime. And this is the LA story, and
Right.
it's a trip because I left LA in 2003 and moved to New York.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not from New York. I'm from here. So
Right.
that was a culture shock late for me in life. I was 37 years old when I
Yeah.
did that, and I did that for comedy. To me, in the craft of stand up, you have to spend some time in New York
Yeah. No, I know.
for yourself, to learn this craft. That's New York.
Now, did you find yourself a little too laid back for New York?
Yes, I had to adjust. I was laid back. I was a little lazy. This is just LA is a easy city to do comedy in.
Right.
In one sense, that you don't have to really rip shows in LA. You just have to be kind of famous or have the right agent or the right manager.
Right.
And in that aspect, it's not a tough crowd. You're not gonna have a tough crowd in that aspect, but it's an industry crowd too. So industry shows, they don't really laugh.
Right.
They're looking at you. They're critiquing you. They're
Mhm.
seeing if you're right for what they're trying to do.
Right.
They're not necessarily there to be entertained. Whereas New York, people are there to be entertained. They spend
better
their heart. Yeah, they spend their heart.
You better fucking entertain him.
Hey, what the fuck? Who is this guy? Get him out of here. Get funny and come back.
No,
You know?
I did. I moved to New York and lived there briefly. I got in a car accident, had to move back, but yeah, I remember some of the Long Island shows,
Yeah.
McGuire's,
Governors, big up to
Oh,
governors
dude,
out there.
yeah.
Yeah,
But, yeah, you
those
better
are
be
real
fo-
crowds. People work, man. They'll tell you, hey, look, I spend my hard-earned money. This guy's funny as my grandmother.
Right.
She's dead.
Right.
You know.
It was funny because when I got there, I would do all these rough rooms, and a comic told me, like, I got a room for you, but I don't think you can do it. And it was an ice cream parlor, and there were families there.
Where was this at? In Long Island?
Yes, like
Okay.
Port Jefferson.
Okay.
And he's like, I'm like, let me do it. And I was the only comic that actually didn't break, did a whole set clean. And there was a family that kept coming back because they liked me so much.
Wow, that's dope.
But he'd only see me with these just shouting at these crowds. But I don't want to talk about my career. I want to talk about somebody that actually has credits. That's you.
Well, it's all good, man.
No, but you were telling me you were in the hip hop scene in the late '80s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is before NWA.
Before we signed our very first. I consider myself being in the entertainment business as a professional since 1987. That's when I signed my first contract.
31 years.
With Profile Records.
And by the way, Empress Kush was 3.
I was 3.
Oh wow!
I mean,
Yeah,
13,
I'm old,
I was
man.
13.
I'm old.
No, I wasn't born yet.
Oh, wow.
No, I was 3. I really was.
Okay.
Empress Kush lies about her age. So go ahead.
I usually don't.
But
I
which
usually don't.
way?
But yeah, we were signed. I was in a group called AWP, Atmosphere of World Power. 360 was the name of our clique, our posse. We had about a good 12 groups under the umbrella of 360 with my man DJ Broadway, who still produced King T, Xzibit,
Right.
the Alcoholics. You know,
Right.
my people that I started with are still in the game, and they're still making music. So for me,
The Alcoholics are still making music?
they're still making music. I mean, and I didn't start with, this is all before
Right.
the Alcoholics. In 1987, we were a Los Angeles rap group out of the West Coast, signed to an East Coast label, Profile Records.
Which is the label Run DMC was on.
Which is the label Run DMC was on, Rob Bass. It
Right.
takes two to make it. Yeah, he was on that label. And this was literally after making a demo and sending out our demo to every record company that we could. Our
And
manager.
they were all in New York.
Yeah, and that's where the majority of the record companies were. I mean, but we sent to LA too. But
Right.
it just so happened Profile got at us. And they said, look, we want to do a 12-inch deal.
Right.
And then we was like, wow, the world was like, we got a record deal. And we were on this East Coast label, and we were doing real hip hop. And
Now, were you doing shows with like Ice-T and the
well,
rappers that were around like that?
I did a show with Public Enemy
Okay.
here in Beverly Hills. I did a show with Tribe Called Quest.
Wait a second. Public Enemy, Beverly Hills?
Yeah.
How did that go?
They used to have a club underneath the Beverly Center called The World.
Really?
Yeah, it was a dope club. They also had Funky Reggae, which was another spot that was right off the Beverly Center.
Public Enemy, as militant as they are,
Yeah.
as they were at the time.
Yes.
Did the show at the Beverly Center?
Yes. At the Beverly Center and killed it. And my group, we opened for them.
Wow.
And Ice-T was there that night. That was
Wow.
a big deal. I mean,
I was trying to think of hip hop,
Yeah.
West Coast hip hoppers. I'm sorry. Before NWA, Ice-T is the only one that came to mind.
well, yeah, you had King T, you had Mixmaster Spade, Toddy T,
Where's Toddy?
Rodney O and Joe Cooley. There was a
Right.
whole West Coast scene, but mind you, our stuff, it wasn't even about West Coast, East Coast. It was about hip hop.
Right.
And that's all you had. It wasn't even about defining and repping where you're from. That didn't even happen yet.
Because
You know, it was just
75%
like,
of the people were in New York.
exactly,
Or-
or Philly.
Right.
New York and Philly were pretty much the only two cities that were producing people that were getting on records.
Right. You were gonna say something, Nicole?
No, I wasn't. I said, yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And I was going to
Okay.
say West Coast.
Yeah, see,
The
we,
West
didn't-
Side?
we
Yeah.
weren't even.
We weren't there
we
yet,
were
that's
just trying to
90s.
get.
We're not there yet.
Hip hop was
Yeah,
the
when did West Side
oddball.
start?
90s.
Well, that started, pretty much in the 90s. But I mean, NWA, when we were on this label,
Right.
Profile, NWA coincidentally came out
Right.
and blew the lid off of. It was like, who the hell are these dudes? They're talking about,
Fuck the police.
Yeah, all of this. And so our record label was like,
I was
hey,
gonna say it was much angrier. It was,
yeah.
It was
And our
very
stuff was
angry.
just trying to get a deal. So we were hitting the bar of getting a deal.
There was dance hip hop, and then there was
Even,
Right.
even
fuck the
Public
police, fuck
Enemy.
the establishment.
And they
Right.
changed it. And the label said, you guys, you're from LA, write some stuff like this.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, first of all, that stuff that they're talking about, we're living.
Exactly. It was the 90s.
And yeah, we are not about to get on a record talking about selling guns and dope and,
Right.
and gang. No, are you kidding? That's them? No. We make music to make people dance.
Right.
That's what we were on. We weren't revealing that side. It was like insane that they were, but we weren't ready to go there.
Right.
Because
You probably weren't
everybody,
even cursing, huh?
No, we were cursing.